What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Let's get right into today's topic that we're going to be discussing in regards to the Rachel Glines situation in the YMCA. And as you can see right behind me, it says judge clears trans woman Rachel Glines indecent exposure charges due to body fat coverage. Yeah, this is a real story. This is a real article. And basically what it's saying is that this person is a biological male who went into a woman's bathroom and exposed himself. But the judge declared that it wasn't indecent exposure because his fat was covering his private parts. It's so crazy to even say. So let's get into it. We're going to watch a news segment, and also we're going to read an article because the news segment, you know, they barely cover the actual truth about the situation. So let's watch the news segment, and then we'll read an article right afterwards.
Elena, thank you. And now we want to start with our other top story tonight. A transgender woman found not guilty. Now this after she was charged with public indecency because she used the women's locker room at the Ymca YMCA. Now a judge just ruled Rachel Glines didn't break any laws. And Mamie, I know you've kind of been following this story for us. You spoke with her legal team today. And what did you learn?
I did. Well, the legal team tells me that the legal team who is speaking on behalf of their client at this time tell me that they believe their client still has a target on her back despite the judge's ruling. However, they believe the right decision was made.
She's relieved. This was really weighing on her.
The attorneys representing the transgender woman charged with indecent exposure, speaking for the first time.
It was our position that the prosecution kind of tried to twist the law to fit this case into a certain mold that it just didn't fit in.
Friday, Rachel Glines was found not guilty by a Xenia Municipal Court judge. This after using the locker room that aligns with her gender identity at the Ymca YMCA. The Greater Dayton LGBTQ Center saying this is a victory.
I hope that people will think twice before bringing these kind of charges, because a lot of times it's about the intent, and I don't think Rachel intended to do anything wrong.
The judge in this case ruled that there was no exposure because Glines did not show her private area in the locker room. Documents show that the executive director of the Fairborn YMCA testified, saying Glines was authorized to use the women's locker room at all YMCA facilities. I spoke with law professor Tom Hagel about the outcome in this case.
The result was correct. These are the types of issues that are going to come up constantly until the issue is resolved concerning the rights of people who are in transition.
Glines was facing 3 counts of indecent exposure for incidents that took place from September to November, one involving Janelle Holloway, who says she didn't feel comfortable with Glines using the women's locker room.
His name is Darren Glines. Yeah, I've known Darren for a lot of years. He was on my tennis team. I'll be honest, I've known him well, and I've written him a letter.
In this letter, she writes in part, "I've prayed more for you these past 6 months than I ever did the previous 22 years of knowing you. Going through these last 6 months is not something that I would have ever chosen to do, but God has been faithful to me in so many areas of life. The Holloways who were subpoenaed tell me they are disappointed by the judge's ruling."
And disgusted in some ways.
What do you say to people who believe you're being transphobic?
I strongly have to believe what the Bible teaches, that God, from the very beginning, created 2 genders. And I know that there is mental illness and confusion.
For now, Glines' legal team says they are looking ahead and focusing on their client.
Are there any plans to file a lawsuit against the city?
We're not going to make any definitive comments on that. I know that we're going to look at all of her legal options moving forward and make the best decision for her.
I reached out to the YMCA of Greater Dayton. It says it is following Ohio and federal laws and anti-discrimination laws, which allow all members to access its facilities and programs. I also reached out to the city of Xenia. It says it has no comment at this time. Back to you.
Yeah, there you have it. This is very, very interesting because the news leaves out the most important part about this judge's ruling and how the trial kind of ended in a sense. So we're going to read this article from the New York Post. So a Xenia County judge in Ohio ruled that trans woman Rachel Glines did not commit indecent exposure in a female changing room after the defense argued that body fat covered the genital area. Xenia Municipal Court documents originally reported three charges of indecent exposure against Glines, who previously went by the name Darren since 2021. Witnesses claimed in these incidents that women, including some juveniles, saw a naked man in the female's locker room with visible penis. The charges against Glines were then brought to court in February. Judge David McAname eventually cleared Glines of these charges, insisting that there was little dispute as to the fact of the case regarding Glines' permission to be in the locker room, as well as the fact that Glines' heavy body set likely covered his penis. There is no question that Glines was in the women's locker room. However, Glines was not charged with trespass, nor was Glines charged with being in an area of the YMCA where Glines was not supposed to be. McName wrote, quite simply, the facts do not exist to support a find of guilt as charges. Glines' genitalia was not visible as a result of other portions of her body covering same. Yeah, this is insane. Let's keep going. This comment reflected questioning made by defense attorney for Glines, who similarly argued that it was also fair to say that the whole genital area was covered by body fat. The attorneys also noted that YMCA of Greater Dayton had previously given permission for Glines to enter the women's locker room in all YMCA facilities in the area. This is the craziest shit ever. In a statement regarding the incident, the YMCA said, under no circumstance will we investigate an individual's birth identity and then assign individuals to locker rooms. That would be counter to the law, counter to respect of all people, and it is not who or what we are as an organization. Glines' attorney also released a statement following the ruling saying it's unfortunate not only for her but for the entire community that the filing of these charges ever occurred. We are grateful that the rule of law and the truth prevailed so that Ms. Glines and the community can move on in peace. Xenia County Council President William was previously recorded at a meeting of the Greene County Tea Party commenting on the case in one of the women's complaints. So she went to the front desk and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know what's going on, but there's a naked man in there." Urschel said. She was informed, no, it is not. It is actually a woman, and that you shouldn't be disturbed by this. Yeah, there you have it. This is the craziest world that we are currently living in. This makes absolutely no sense. So they're not denying the fact that, one, he entered the women's locker room, but also more importantly, they're not denying the fact that he actually exposed him and he actually took his pants off and he was ass naked. But the charges for indecent exposure were dismissed, or he was found not guilty because his fat on his belly was basically covering his penis. It was hanging over his penis and covering it, so nobody saw his dick, apparently. This is the craziest shit I have ever read. I mean, it just keeps getting crazy. I keep saying this is the craziest thing I've ever read every day, because it just keeps getting crazier and crazier and worse by the day. By the day, every single day, there's something crazy, weird thing happening in America. So I thought this was interesting. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it except to bring it to you and then also kind of bring all the facts, because the news segment conveniently left out the fact that the judge found this person not guilty because the fat was covering his penis. Absolutely wild. Absolutely, absolutely wild. But let me know what you guys think, man. Comment down below. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button down below as well. That's the only way the algorithm knows to push my content. And if this is your first time on the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Thanks for being here, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.